Oh, it's your boy.
And your other boy.
Wait, we didn't do that bit.
Oh, the bit. I don't know what bit you mean.
Where we're going to be like, oh, the mic's been off for 2 months.
Oh, Rhys, 1 minute. Just before we start, the mic's been off for 2 months.
Oh, great bit. I had another idea that, like, one of us was trapped in a wall.
Rhys, I'm trapped in the wall.
Or it was like, you've been disappeared for 2 months. And I'm
Yeah.
like, hi guys, welcome to episode 10 of the Whip It Out podcast. This is your host once again on my own, Rhys. Once again, I'm just going to talk on my own for an hour because I haven't seen Joe in weeks.
Oh!
Joe?
I was in your womb.
My womb? I have a womb?
That's why you didn't know where I was.
What a surprise.
Yes. It was warm in there, and it's quite cold
Joe,
out.
your whole family's been worried. Where have you been?
In your womb.
Oh,
Oh.
you womb raider.
Oh. Oh. Well, hello and welcome back. We have been away for a while. I've been womb raiding. And Rhys,
Oh.
Rhys, what have you been doing? Let's just get straight into it. What have you been doing?
Like, real or for the bit?
No bits.
Because in the bit, I've just been sat talking to myself.
I've just come out of your womb. I've seen your bits. So, I like how you winked at me. Nice.
Wink.
Wink. Insert.
For the audio listeners.
Okay. So yeah, what have you been cracking on with? Let's get straight into it. Where are you, my dear? Recent revelations. Let's call the name of this podcast Recent Revelations. Do you get it? Recent Revelations.
So this is the last episode. Thanks for listening.
Oh, you really hurt me sometimes.
Oops.
Ooh.
That was my watch.
Yeah, sure it was.
My Fitbit, actually.
Oh, Fitbit. Is
I'm
that
rich.
new?
No. Yeah, that's not new.
It's not new.
But talking of Fitbit, I've been getting fit.
Oh, I thought you were going to give us a sponsor then.
Oh, no.
First sponsor.
This episode
is sponsored by Fitbit.
feels like it, dude, because we're in like a fancy setup.
I don't know whether you can tell on the mic or whether not, but...
Probably sounds worse because we're on... No, we've always been on one
We've
mic.
always been on one mic. We've always been close and cuddly.
It looks better for us.
It looks really nice for us.
We're wearing headphones now.
Headphones, dude. I can hear you in my head.
Oh, I thought you were saying I said it wrong or something.
No. Yeah, headphones.
You're like,
Richie said.
headphones, idiot.
No, headphones.
They're called earphones.
They're like inserted in my ears. Yeah. No, we've gone up in the world in part.
So I can see someone else doing a podcast
We're just podcasting
2
away.
booths down.
Damn. Get out. It's the recent Joe
Our
Rhys
podcast
Revelations.
is better.
Turn round.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's see. So what's cracking, my homie?
We both ended our last uni year. That's
Yes.
basically the reason that
It's
we
somewhere
haven't
as-
posted in months.
Yes. We've just not been together, have we? Really?
No, we've split up.
away. Guys, we broke
Joe
up.
cheated on me
It's true, guys.
with a new podcast that's got me in it.
With the new Rhys. I cheated on you, but you got pregnant, and then the fresh me came out the womb.
I got cooked
Yeah.
by you.
But I'm like Alien from Alien vs Predator. Not Alien, but why did I
Is
re-
it
why
like
did I
that
reference
movie I haven't seen with Matt Smith where the woman's wife dies? No, the wife's husband dies.
I don't know which film you mean. 'cause
I
I've
don't
not
know
seen
which
it.
one. I haven't seen it.
Matt Smith,
But I know the plot.
as in the old Doctor.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's in it, and it's Eva Green, I think. I've not seen this.
Okay.
Here I explain a movie
Explain
I
the film.
haven't seen. Her husband dies, I think.
Okay.
And somehow she gives birth to a son who is her husband, like a clone,
Oh.
and then falls in love with him.
Right, alright. Enough on the incest chat. That's our incest roundup of the week.
Tune in next week for our
For
next
more
incest
incest.
chat.
But, yeah, so apart from all the incest films you've been watching, what else have you been up to?
I haven't watched it. I might
Sure
do
he
now.
hasn't.
next
That's
week.
exactly what he says.
I joined the gym.
You watch it and it's got nothing to do with incest. but-
Yeah, it's all in my head.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I mean, it could be because I've not seen it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, God. So, yeah, you've joined the gym. Any
Joined the
incest
gym.
in there?
Bit.
Oh.
No, there was dicks.
Ah,
I can swear now.
okay.
Couldn't swear on the last pod. I did though.
You did.
We just did a podcast for Joe's uni work.
Yeah, I'm doing third year media work, so we have to. I'm actually quite smart, everybody.
I do a course that's not going to get me to what?
Jesus Christ.
It's alright, so do I.
Jesus Christ. Ruining me right there. $9,000.
Well, we just did a serious podcast for
Yes.
Joe. We wasn't serious.
It's just, it's an assessed one, so you can't swear.
And
but
I
no,
didn't
we
swear,
can
and
say
then I was like, bullshit. And I was like, oh!
I was like, bleeping it at this time point.
Are you actually going to bleep it though?
I don't think
Do you need to?
If I'm being honest, my tutor probably
I think
won't listen.
I think I was saying bullshitting, wasn't I?
Yeah,
And I was
like-
like bullshit. Oh,
Yeah,
bad. Or
yeah.
something.
You're like, if you'd just gone with it, it probably would have passed over. But I don't think he'll listen that far in
Okay.
because it was like 40 minutes in. So no doubt he would have turned off after 2 minutes.
Oh.
He'd be like, yeah, that's cool.
Maybe can you just ask like, is it cool to have a swear word?
Am
or-
I cool to swear at 40 minutes in? And they just go
Swear?
straight to that.
I'm like, cunt.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it'll be fine with
Yeah.
that. So yeah, though, gym stuff. Are you cracking with the gym? You mentioned it to me
I was
briefly.
scared because this is my first gym,
First gym.
like ever. Yeah, actual
Oh.
gym. We used to go to the gym at the building.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really a gym.
Yeah, it's
is
like
it?
a
No one else goes.
Fitness suite kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so like first actual gym, got a membership.
Wow.
Going with a friend.
Okay.
Yeah, so he showed me around, which is very useful because otherwise I wouldn't be going. To
Is
be
it
honest.
first time he's gymmed or is he gymmed?
Oh, he's gymmed before.
Is
so-
it his gym that he goes to, or have you
No, we
started
both signed
that?
up together.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be going honestly. I don't think if it was on my own.
Mm.
Just
You
wouldn't know
lose
what
it.
to do,
Yeah.
and then need someone to be like,
Spot.
do 10 of these.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, you know, I'd do a couple, and then when it starts to get hard, you're like, oh, I'll just stop. No
you
one's,
do,
no
don't
one's
you?
gonna,
You really do.
no one's
You really do.
bothered. Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I did three in a week.
Fantastic.
Different thing every day.
Excellent.
Couldn't move my arms.
You're
Couldn't
mentioning this.
Look at this. You can't see it because it's an audio
He's
podcast.
straightening his
I'm
arms.
straightening my arms. This is
And
actually.
holding them out.
I couldn't do this for a week, like a few days ago. This
See,
feels
when he-
really good.
When you mentioned this to me, I took that as you said to me, I've started at the gym and I can straighten my arms,
Yeah.
which I took as you've never been able to straighten your arms in your life. The joints just didn't do it. And like 1 week of gym, you can straighten your arms. But you meant it in...
The gym made me not able to straighten my
There we
arms.
go.
Now I can straighten my arms.
It's a silly,
Someone just
silly-
came and pointed at us.
I did say bye to everybody in the building, and then...
No, it's a different guy.
Oh, it's
Who's that?
I'm going to have to bleep that name.
Why?
I've just give somebody away.
Give him away.
I've
Is he a
said their
fugitive or
identity.
something?
Yeah, maybe, dude.
So you can bleep his name. It's like when you bloody doxed me on
I just
the
doxed another guy. I can't help but
bloody
do it.
Joe doxed.
In it.
no,
No, what's
it's gonna be Joe Beep.
So yes, I've been doxing people whilst I've been away.
Yeah, you
these
become a
last 2 months.
professional doxer.
I just do it to everybody.
Swatting people.
Just swatting people, swatting
people-
myself.
Yeah.
Just to get a bit of attention, come and talk to some people.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what I've done, but really all I can think, I've not started the gym. I've not been anywhere motivated. I've just been cracking on doing just boring daily
But you've
stuff.
been motivated with your work.
Yeah,
You're saying?
yes, I've been really motivated this year back at uni.
Yeah.
Started back and I'm really, really on it this year compared to other years. I think it's because it's the final year, you got to crack on. But something I did discover, who wants to hear about work? I discovered a YouTuber for the first time.
Sorry, I fell asleep.
Oh,
Carry on.
it's okay, dude. I'll just keep talking while Reese is chilling. Reese has been covering for these last 2 months, so it's my turn to do the next 2
Should I
months.
record like 10 episodes really quickly?
You really
and we'll
should.
just spread them all out.
Joe's still not here. Crying in your room. But yes. Oh my God. You'd be crying in your room when I was in your womb.
Stop it.
Lyrical. But yes, I discovered a YouTuber that I've never watched, and I was kind of interested because I've been watching YouTube since pretty much 2007, 8-ish. So for me to have not... I knew of him, but I never went on, looked at the content. I just wasn't interested.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you've ever watched him, but it's David Dobrik.
Heard of him.
Never watched
Don't
his
think I've
content.
watched it.
Never watched his content, and it's just so fascinating. Honestly, I watched it and I was like, it really got me hooked. He basically does live vlogs, really fast-paced cut edits, with his friends, similar to if you've ever watched Sugar Pine 7. Similar to that, with them all kind of more real than Sugar Pine 7. In Sugar Pine 7, the characters are obviously characters. Things that they're doing are over-characterised. They might be based off real things that they do in their real life, but they're all caricatures, like...
Yeah, I mean, he makes this fake storylines.
Perfect, yeah, that kind of example. The narration isn't something that he does in it.
It's got actors in it as well.
Exactly.
He hires people.
I genuinely, I think it's similar stuff with David Dobrik. I think there are certain parts where they kind of add to the storyline of it. To my knowledge, it's never really been covered. Like I said, it's only something that I've discovered, and I just started watching his content. I'm sure if I had somebody who knew a little bit more about him, they could comment on it. But
sorry.
Honestly, dude, honestly,
Dave,
yo, David
you want to
Dobrik.
switch up?
Get in, David
Oh,
Dobrik.
his name's Dave, isn't it? I was making up a fake name, but
I thought you was going with.
Sorry, Dave. Jim.
Jim. That's his second name.
Welcome back to Whip It Out with Joe and Jim.
Joe and Jim.
Rhys didn't know.
Josie and Jim. But yeah, like I said, that's something that I discovered recently, and that's been in this like past week, and I've watched a lot of his content, like mass consumed. I tend to do that when I find a new creator. I'll watch like one, and it might not hook me, and then I'll go on other content that I'm used to. Then I'll be like, oh, I'll watch him again when I'm bored, and then I like hoard all of them. Like I consume so much of it at once. I'm sure that's similar for everybody.
Yeah,
but
you find someone new, you go back.
Yeah, and it's like his videos are all timestamped at 4:21. As like a joke on the 420.
420, yeah.
And like I think I've not seen it yet, but I've heard a bit about the thing that he's 420 because he does daily vlogs that are like kind of cut and edited fast and stuff and jokes. But his 420 vlog was apparently like really played up, obviously towards that point. But yeah, so and I don't know, like I really don't know how I just came across it and stuff, and it's just I just started watching it. I was like hooked, and it's probably somebody that I won't continue watching, but I did subscribe to him. He's on 9.2 mil subs. No, honestly, I think it's something that I will watch for like the next, but it's not going to be somebody that I'm going to be like devoted to. But it's just opening your eyes to like this content. Like he's somebody that does not stick to the idea of, do you know, the 10 minutes to get you 2 adverts.
Yeah.
A lot of YouTubers can like stick to that now. Like even like people like PewDiePie, as much as I love him and stuff, and I think he's like fantastic, and you know I think he's just been so hard done by stuff he's done. He's made mistakes, but I think he's been kind of wrongly accused and represented as the face of YouTube, and I think he's took it hard a lot of the time. But whereas with somebody like David Dobrik and stuff, like the stuff that he's doing is just. He's kind of done it himself, and he's done his own way. Like I said, he's not stuck to how PewDiePie stopped swearing and, you know, stuck to the 10 minutes to, like, kind of get this content out and stuff. But PewDiePie kind of was self-aware with it and stuff. But, you know, I think it is interesting. But like I said, he obviously doesn't need the monetized revenue from YouTube as his main source of income. He's quite big on his merch and stuff, and he kind of promotes his merch, so you can guess that he does potentially have, like, an audience that do consume that. But he does it in a way that it's nowhere near as full on as like if you're watching somebody like Jake Paul. I feel like they might have a similar audience.
Buy my merch.
Buy my merch. That's the official song for us.
It's a love song.
Oh gosh. But yeah, he does it.
All I want for Christmas is some Jake Paul merch.
Oh, well, is that the one where they dressed as Christmas elves?
Buy
and
my
stuff?
merch.
Oh,
it's good.
no.
It's a good song.
It sounds atrocious.
It's in my playlist.
It sounds like a banger. Did you actually?
I think it's because of H3. I've got it on a playlist.
Yeah. Oh my god! I thought you were joking. I thought you were
so funny when it comes on. No.
Wow. You know what? I'm not even shocked with you.
It's just a funny.
You have some.
I know
interesting songs.
It was kind of semi-seriously made, but to me, it's like a Lonely Island song or something. Like how much of a joke it is.
Yeah, I get that.
Lonely Island can make a song about selling merch, but like he did.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the Popstar film that they did?
Yeah, watched it recently.
I've not watched that.
It's good.
I've watched a lot of Lonely Island.
I enjoyed it.
I watched like all the SNL skits and stuff.
I thought it was gonna be a trash movie, but it wasn't.
Is it good?
There's a favorite bit. There's a song about gay marriage.
Is that the one where it's Spring Break one? Because they did a Spring Break gay marriage one.
No.
Have you ever seen that one?
They're all completely new songs for the movie.
Yes. Okay.
But it's a song about gay marriage, like promoting it.
Right.
Well, it's actually trying to get it.
Right.
And part of the joke is it already has been
legalized.
Legalized.
Yeah, in a lot of states,
Yeah, so that's part of the joke is at the end he's like, is the song promoting legalization of gay marriage, but it's already happened. But it's what's his name playing a character?
Andy Samberg?
Andy Samberg playing a character. And it's all about gay marriage, but he keeps saying, I'm not gay.
Right,
like he's just trying to get across the message that he's straight throughout.
Yeah.
And it just gets to the extreme. And he basically is like, I can't remember the song, but he keeps saying, like, look, marry whoever you want. But then he looks at a different camera and he's like, I'm not gay.
Right.
He's like, I'm not gay, but if I was.
Yeah.
It's a good, it's so funny. It's
I think
clever.
I have seen it, because I think I saw it when it first came out, but like it's one of those that you watch and then you forget kind of thing. But the one that really stood out was the Bin Laden song that they did. F Bin Laden.
F Bin Laden.
Yeah.
Fuck me like Bin Laden. Something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
they fucked Bin Laden. Yeah, that one's good.
I remember that one when it first came out, and then
some funny songs in it.
Yeah, I get mixed up though because they did so many and stuff, and now he's doing fantastic for himself, isn't he? But
it's a good film.
Akiva and Yorma are the other two. Akiva and Yorma.
Oh yeah,
And I think
they're in it as well.
They're always working together, them two and
Yeah.
stuff. But you know, like Andy Samberg's like touching 40 now. That's
Doesn't
incredible.
look it, does he? Doesn't look it.
That is incredible. Because I remember
It's
seeing
Hollywood,
him.
baby.
It's Hollywood, baby. he's like the new Adam Sandler, isn't he?
Oh, he's much better.
I think Adam Sandler's took him under his wing and been like...
Yeah, but I'd say he's a
Come
much
with
better
me.
actor.
I think it's through the... I'm taking that from SNL. I watch so much SNL.
Yeah.
I watch more SNL than I should do. Like, so many skits on there are bad. So
Oh
many.
yeah,
So
I
many
think
are
it's
awful.
part of
But
American
then
comedy as well.
You
though.
find one and it's like so good,
Yeah.
so good. A lot of the writers and stuff, like how they've pitched it and stuff, and if it works with the celebrity that they have on and stuff, like
Yeah. The guy's
good?
back.
You good?
Get him on as a guest.
Let's get him on. 1 minute. Is it locked? Is it locked? Check it out.
Hang on, you keep talking.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, just doing a podcast. I'll cut it out. It's fine in the edit. You okay? It is American comedy, and it is awful at times, but I do watch a lot of it. And like you said, it's made so many celebrities. When you look at it, like the celebrities like Mike Myers, Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you give me that face?
I don't know. It's like, who's that for a second? I forgot who it was.
Have you seen their new trailer as well? We're gonna jump
Sherlock
off
Holmes.
Sherlock and Holmes.
Sherlock and Holmes. Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Is it called Sherlock and Holmes?
I think
Is that what it's called?
I think
I didn't even get that.
What do you mean?
Because that's his full name, Sherlock Holmes.
Oh no, it's
Is it
Sherlock and Watson. Sherlock and
Ah.
Watson. No, sorry.
I thought there was a joke I'd missed out on. If it was called Sherlock and Holmes,
Hey, that's not a bad title, and it was an
and
intention.
it's just him, like being real. He's like, it's me and me, and then Watson doesn't even get a
mention. Yeah. I don't know with it. I've seen the trailer, and I'm hoping that it's just.
It looks funny.
It looks somewhat funny, but I'm hoping it's Step Brothers level. Step Brothers, I feel like, is too hardly criticised. I looked on IMDb and
Criticised?
honestly, on IMDb, I think the problem that I have with comedy sometimes, I love comedy films, but I feel like they're criticised on a level where it's like, took as serious films, and I think that's what's annoying, because it's an art form. It's like, with people coming in and criticising music, it's kind of like they have charts for different music.
Yeah.
Genres, whereas with films, they're kind of, right, this is a film, put this film against, like, for me, something like Shawshank Redemption cannot be in any way compared to Avengers Infinity War. Two amazing films, and to be honest,
much better.
I think, honestly, I think they are such, like,
Yeah.
in all honesty, I preferred Avengers Infinity
There's
War.
categories and stuff.
Yeah, but I think this is the issue where it's like, if you go on, like, top-rated films on IMDb, and it's like,
Well, that's why ratings don't work.
that's the issue, isn't it?
You can't give a.
And also, the 0.5s. That still annoys me. That
God.
really gets to
What
me.
about 0.6?
A 0.6, just everything. Like, you're doing it out of a scale of 100.
It's a good point though. You're giving something that's a massive, like a 2-hour long thing.
Yeah.
That's also subjective.
Mm-hmm.
A number from 1 to 10
Yeah.
with no, like you said, no.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, like if there's something that's
I mean, they have
brand new-
categories, so you could have like comedy movies and.
Like, do you remember the film that came out a while ago, and it was like 2012, I think now? The Artist. Do you remember that? The full black and white silent film. It came out.
No.
And it was like 2012. So it was quite It was like a modern film, but
I don't remember like last week, so.
Alright, fair enough. But I remember watching that at the time and being like fascinated by it because I've always been like into films and stuff. But
I'm Joe. I do film media
studies. On my course, we like films. No, the problem is
on my course we interrupt podcasts.
Oh, what a crazy guy!
Is this all being cut?
No, this is staying in. We might
funny.
cut out a bit of the conversation because I said a few names. But
When you called him a...
Yeah, we'll be like... Yeah. But I think with films like that, what's weird is I watched probably more intellectual films when I wasn't on a media film course. And now I've jumped on it, I'm like, I'm just going to sit there and watch David Dobrik. Like, whereas back in the day I was like, the artist is quite a profound picture.
Well,
yes.
like, I haven't watched it, but David Dobrik stuff is new media. Like,
Exactly new media.
it's stuff anyone could do. You could do
It's
it.
true.
You couldn't make a... Well, you could, but probably like on your own. You couldn't make a 2-hour-long black and white movie, so...
Yeah.
And it's not even sometimes what people want anymore.
It's true.
People want like short...
But like I said, I think something like The Artist is something that was so different when I knew about black and white films and silent films and like Charlie Chaplin and Laurel and Hardy and stuff like that.
Clerks.
But Clerks, yeah. But
Have you seen Clerks?
I think I've seen Clerks 1, but I've not seen Clerks 2.
Oh, Clerks 2 is genius.
You've
Dude. Let me tell
mentioned-
you about the stuff. I think I have.
We
but
have spoke about
The
this.
first Clerks is in black and white.
Okay.
I love Kevin Smith and his podcast.
Yeah.
Partly why I wanted to do this one.
Yeah.
It's a modcast.
Shout out
We've
to
mentioned
them.
that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the first one was in black and white because it was just easier, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There was coloured movies. It was just cheaper, I think.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then, and it's Clerks filmed in a shop, just for context.
Mm-hmm.
The second movie starts in black and white,
Mm.
and it starts with the same character going to the shop. Like the whole story of the first one is he goes to the shop, basically. He doesn't want to go to work. And
Yeah.
all this kind of crazy stuff happens. But, the second one starts with the same character going to the same shop, all black and white.
Right.
And you know shutters on the front of a shop?
Yeah.
He goes to lift it up. He lifts it up. And the shop
Is
inside
it
is
David
on...
Arquette? I forget his name. Is it David Arquette, his name?
No.
What's his name?
Can't remember his name.
I always get mixed up
Can't
with
remember the
him
actor.
and the actor who played the guy in My Name is Earl.
Oh, it's not him.
I always get mixed up with
That
him.
guy's in it, though, I think.
Is he in
I
it?
think he's in
Is that where I'm getting mixed up with it?
episode 2, yeah. I think he's a cameo, essentially.
Okay.
I think he's an
sorry.
angry customer.
Yeah, go on, carry on. Sorry.
Well, thanks for, derailing.
Yeah, sorry. Hey, I was talking about the artist.
Yeah. No. Yeah, so he lifts up the thing and the whole shop's on fire.
Right.
But the fire is in colour.
Okay.
And he's like staring at it. I'm lifting my arms up, but you can't see that.
Yeah.
He's holding the shutter up and it's just he's staring at it on fire in colour. The rest of the picture's in black and white. He shuts it, so it all goes back to black and white. And he's like, did I imagine that? He lifts it back up. It's on fire again in colour. And then he leaves it up and slowly the colour fades in as the fire... I just thought it was genius, like, way to start your movie. And way to address, like, in an instant, we're not doing the shop thing again.
Yeah.
Because they go to what's it called? It's like a McDonald's, basically. It's a fast food
I know which one you mean because it features
cow thing.
Yeah. It's like a rip-off of, like, Chuck E. Cheese.
Movies. Is it movies?
Yeah, something like that.
It might be in a real American. We're both
I don't-
British, obviously, so we don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it is, but I think... Have you ever seen the film Dogma?
Yeah. Oh, has he
It's
got
in-
the same?
it's in
Oh,
Dogma.
it's like the same universe, isn't it? Kind of
Yeah,
thing? It's like
yeah.
because he said he had the cinematic universe before Marvel. Which he's proud
That is
of.
pretty mental.
Yeah. So it addresses like one, we're not doing the shop thing again straight away. 2, we're now in colour.
Yeah.
Like forget the old black and white thing. We're
Yeah.
doing colour. Yeah. It's clever.
It is,
genius,
like
yeah.
you said, it's stuff that sticks with you, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I do, to be honest, I probably will watch Clerks 1 and then watch that Clerks 2 after that again to kind of refresh.
Yeah,
but
obviously they're good. They're funny,
something I should probably watch.
and they're all like, well, Clerks 1 is like a student movie basically.
Yeah, it's like a stoner film, isn't it? That's what they call
Yeah,
it.
but I mean, like it's like the instead of going to film, well, I think he went to film school for a bit, but then he dropped out. Instead of, he said like it's because his parents helped fund the movie.
Wow.
Instead of basically instead of paying to go to film school, his parents paid for him to make a movie, and he just learned on the job basically.
Was he wadded or?
No.
Really?
Not very much money at all from what I've
Wow.
heard. Not poor, but like
I'm funding a film at the moment. That's something that we're
Do you
doing.
want to promote that
Yeah, I mean,
to our like
I
5 viewers?
Yeah, if you're listening and stuff and you are still intrigued, by all means, please go and check it out. Even if you just share it or something. In our 3rd year, we have to create a short film, and we're funding it on Indiegogo. So be sure to go and check out the link in the description. And it's coming along all right. We set a target of $2,000 as the maximum that we would need.
Here comes the money.
Here comes the money. That's just for my food on set. So we set it as $2,000. Me and my colleagues. But we've reached, I believe, around 600. I think on the last count.
In a short amount of time, isn't it?
In a short amount of time, I'm really, really happy with where we're at and stuff. Even if it doesn't fully come off and stuff, but like I said, please go and check it out. If you can't even if you can't donate, just sharing it out, means the world to me because it really does spread it about, help it get known by people. But yeah, no. So I like you said, I was intrigued by if his family were wadded because
not at all.
Definitely
not. No.
And it's interesting.
Cheaper time, I guess, but still.
Well, cheaper time, but then
that's why they filmed in the shop because it was just
one location.
It's where he worked.
Yeah,
they filmed it at night. I think that might have part been why they did it in black and white as well because they filmed it at night, and they just had the lights on to pretend it was day.
Well,
I think something like that. Yeah, they could only film at night when the shop was empty. So,
did he go to cinemas at the time, or was it just?
Went to. They got it to what's it called? Film show.
Cannes.
I don't know if it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like Cannes,
it might have been.
Sundance.
It was a big one.
Yeah,
it might have been Sundance. I think
Sundance. Yeah,
there's a big one, and he's talked about it a lot, but people just didn't like it, no one was interested, and then one person liked it and gave him a call.
Wow,
and it blew up from there. It was a
career,
really interesting career, I think.
Similar to what's his name? I forget. Please excuse me whilst I'm trying to think. The Dark Knight director. What's his name?
Nolan?
Yeah, Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
He did that with Memento, didn't he? Memento was a budget film.
Really?
Took it to few film festivals.
That's
the one. Film festivals like Sundance and Cannes, and took them about. And I think it got really, really good reviews to my knowledge. I don't know whether it didn't at first, but I think it just, to my knowledge, I think it could have just got straight good reviews.
Yeah.
So much so that the hype around it and the amount of people that liked it, it got picked up and got a distributor linked to it. And then even though it had been took to film festivals and it had been out as a release that you could buy, I believe, in DVD copy. DVD, it would have been VHS at the time probably, but I think then the distributor got it and then put it up in cinemas even though it had been out for a while and put it out, and then that's when it got its real hype around it.
It's cool.
I've always had a liking for Christopher Nolan because I think his way of directing's pretty cool. Just I'm not going to get into that.
I love Batman. So.
With my films go.
You can talk about. I was joking. Talk about
I do like Christopher Nolan and stuff, and I think for me that was one of the first, apart from the Batman series, but I didn't.
You didn't like the Batman series?
No. First.
Oh, that was your
iteration of stuff that I'd seen. His
controversial opinion, but the right opinion.
Go on.
No,
go on. Right. Where are we going with this?
Batman Begins is the best one.
What?
Scarecrow? Wait, let me say again.
Scarecrow.
Batman Begins is the best Batman of the three.
Of the three.
Forget all the other ones for now. Batman Begins is the best Batman movie of the three. Dark Knight is the best movie.
Yes.
Overall.
Okay.
Heath Ledger just steals the show, obviously. And everyone knows. Not, you don't need to say that. But it kind of takes it away from Batman. But it's not just Heath. Or the Joker. Like, in the first Batman, he's, acting like Batman. Like, he's doing Batman stuff. He's fighting like Batman. He's, flying around as Batman.
Yeah.
He's jumping down staircases. And he's being scary. He's like a monster, in the dark. You don't even see him sometimes. That's how I would do a Batman film, is you barely see him.
Yeah.
He's like the monster,
he's like
but
Jaws,
he's good.
The Jaws of, the film, kind of thing. But,
Number 2, he's just, walking around in the day. And, in number 3, he's literally in the daytime. He just walks up to Bay and he's like, I'm like, what's he doing? Yeah, number 3, he's just driving around, and number 2, he's just biking around.
Yeah.
And, he's just he becomes more like a military soldier kind of thing.
I get that.
There's less. I get it because they wanted to change the story up, and there's the bit where he takes on the SWAT team with his that stuff where he can see through the building, the echolocation stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
But apart from
it's
that,
like detective mode in the
Arkham
series.
Yeah. But I love that first one. That's how I would do a Batman film. Is do it like a horror film, but the people who are scared and running away from the monster are the criminals,
Yeah.
and Batman's good.
Yeah.
But it might be scary to audiences, but... You know what
I think, like you said, that's kind of his charm, though, isn't it? That, like, he's Bruce Wayne, and he's this kind of charismatic, like, in-your-face, like, Tony Stark-like figure.
Yeah.
But then, when he has this suit on, he needs to be, like, the complete opposite.
It's like an animal.
Away from that.
Like a
yeah.
shadow.
Primate, like, prime.
Not just a
primal.
dude walking in the light.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not as much controversial. I'm not as much... I've always had more of an affiliation towards Marvel than DC myself.
Wow.
I don't know. I think as a kid I was like, the characters were more like gripping for me. Like, I love the ideas of like X-Men and stuff. And now, like, you know, I know they had the Justice League, but for me the X-Men just caught me more. Like, that was the first thing for me.
They're more human, aren't they, the Marvel characters?
Yeah.
Maybe that's controversial.
Yeah.
DC is about gods.
Yeah.
And Marvel's about like humans with abilities more.
Yeah. I think I don't. It'd be interesting to see who tapped into it first. I suppose it probably was Superman before Thor. But then again, if you go Thor's from like Norse mythology.
Yeah, Thor just is a god.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, like Thor's
Thor
just
is
kind of
basically just
stealing.
stolen. Yeah, that's
Literally,
exactly,
really.
Yeah.
Like they've done
Then again,
something
a
new
lot-
with the character.
yeah,
but
a lot of the
I like the
characters
idea he's
were-
from space. That's cool.
Yeah, Asgard.
But he's not
He's like
an
an alien.
original idea. It's
Yeah.
like if DC had Peter Pan.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just one of their characters.
Well, you take Disney. Disney is a prime example of that. Brothers Grimm.
Oh, not Disney. Sorry, DC. That's it.
Brothers-
Disney.
No, I'm saying Disney is an example.
Oh.
I think you did say DC. Disney is an example. I'm saying that because they're the overhead of Marvel.
Yeah.
A lot of their characters, like Pinocchio and stuff, and like was it Gingerbread Man, Hansel and Gretel? They
All
were
from
all
stories,
Brothers
yeah.
Brothers Grimm.
Brothers Grimm.
Brothers Grimm. And they were all like kind of pre-existing stories that were then
Yeah.
taken and changed. Like there's some really really messed up stuff about some of them. Have you heard some of the
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah,
Like
did some of it.
in Cinderella, the original story, one of the ugly sisters, to fit into the glass slipper, cut her heel and her toes off.
A heel off?
Cut her heel off to fit in a glass slipper.
How?
I have no way. It's a story, and I guess there's no full logic, but like, I'm not even sure how she did it, but in the story, to fit into it, because she was that obsessed with beauty and being right, she hacked away her foot and stuff.
Sounds hot.
It sounds like it's more bloody. It sounds hot. It sounds like it's bloody Thor. It's Thor. What am I talking about? Saw.
Thor.
So yeah, I think there's a lot of interesting kind of ways that, like I said, like, it's just, is it classed as not as good because it's pre-existing if you do something with it? Because then you look at Batman, Christopher Nolan's Batman films, where like what everybody thinks is that, but you know, bloody Tim Burton had already has his mitts on and stuff like that.
I mean, it's not the same thing as Marvel being like literally yanking Thor from mythology, and but all ideas come from pre-existing ideas. Yeah.
It's quite interesting.
Yeah,
it's quite interesting.
It's a bit interesting.
Very interesting. But anyway, as well, let's see. We kind of got derailed. But has there been anything else that you're interested in? Anything you've been cracking on with? This has been more of a recap roundup. More than a subject.
I like this though. No topics.
It's a good chat.
Just chatting.
We have drifted off. This is like how my mind works.
But that's good.
Like,
I think.
Times. Yeah.
We'll
Hopefully.
see. Gets no views. There's nothing to clickbait.
No.
We can clickbait some stuff.
Oh yeah. 100%. There's tons of
I love discussing the podcast on the podcast.
So meta. So self-aware.
Just talking about what we're going to do.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to clickbait our audience.
These idiots.
What nonsense.
The non-people that listen to it.
Oh, tell you.
It's just fun though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
yeah,
Christmas, just on a quick one. Christmas is on my mind, and how can it not be? Because have you seen how many things are latching onto Christmas already? It's
like
not
you.
healthy. Dude, honestly, I can't help but be like...
I don't think about Christmas till Halloween's over.
That's what bothers me, though, because
Halloween
it's
month,
about... Already, like, if you go around, it's here.
It's just a commercial thing, isn't it?
It's scary,
Unless you're religious, I guess.
Because everybody's like, oh, Christmas is about for, like, the whole of December, and it's all because it's, like, just a way of making you spend money and stuff, and it's, like, all consumerism and stuff like that. It's here now, and we're in, what, October?
Yeah. Escalation.
November? December?
Go escalated, dude.
And then it carries on into, like, Black Friday, and then all the kind of, like, deals and stuff in, like, January and stuff.
Yeah.
It is scary that when you think, I'm saying that it's here already. I've seen wrapping paper. I've seen like sacks for like presents and stuff like that. Stockings advertised. Toy shops that I went past, like one of the toy shops, it had like, the elf on the shelves, like that are like massive in America, but not as much over here.
Yeah.
They're like advertised as like a little gimmick thing for like you to buy and like to kind of bring that kind of into consumerism over here. It's just mental that like when you think that's at least 4 months of the year. That's just 2 months under half of the year dedicated to consumerism.
Well, there's more, because then afterwards you've got all the sales.
Oh, yeah. That's what I mean. January was like, I was including it in the fall. Like,
oh, yeah, sorry,
go from October, November, December, and then January.
Yeah.
But obviously there's loads more. Like, you have your Easter, and then you've got birthdays, like, which are dotted around the year as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude.
That's just what we do as humans, isn't it?
When is the worst day to have your birthday? When's the worst day?
When's your birthday?
Oh, I wish
I don't know. Probably Christmas.
Has the Queen got 2? Why's she got 2?
I don't know.
What's that about?
Why does she exist?
It's a bit mad. Down with the monarchy.
Cut that.
No, like what is?
I don't know.
What is
Probably Christmas, isn't it?
I think
because no one gives a shit about your birthday because it's Christmas Day.
Well, that is true. Do you know what? My partner's cousin, her birthday is the day of Christmas Eve, and she has said before to me that she only gets one load of presents.
Yeah, I mean,
but it's like a mass amount in comparison. But I bet there is still that ability to be like,
there's the present
I'll
thing,
see
and
you
then
on
there's
Christmas.
like, I don't really not too bothered about presents and stuff, but even like,
oh, I am.
you have your one, I don't know, your birthday is like your one day when people are like, oh, happy birthday. And some people, you only talk to some people on your birthday.
Yeah.
But Christmas Day, oh, he's back, dude.
Go on.
I locked it again.
I don't think he's going to try and come in. He's just chilling out. There's chairs around the back.
Oh,
Go on.
I thought he was.
Yeah. We haven't invaded.
Yeah, you have your like one special day where you might go out for drinks or something, and people just celebrate you. It's a bit of like, bit nice, I guess. But like
As a
Christmas,
narcissist.
no one's coming around to yours.
As a narcissist, I love birthdays. I kind of wish I was the Queen, so I got 2.
I like it. It's a good chance to get a new shirt and go out. For me.
Yeah.
You don't drink. So.
Do you know? Yeah, I don't go out and drink, but
You still go out for a meal, I imagine.
Yeah, I go out.
You still do stuff.
I do things occasionally, once a year.
Do you? On Christmas?
Just on the
Yeah, but
birthday.
if it's on Christmas, no one's going out with you on Christmas, or no one's coming to see you. You know, they're all seeing their family and stuff.
It's quite.
Probably sucks.
I get out. I think that is probably the worst if I was to have one.
It breaks up the year as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like you got your birthday, and it's like
My mum has a pretty
a
bad
nice
birthday.
break. When is it?
The day before mine. So she doesn't get like the linger on. It's like as soon as her
She's
birthday's
reminded
over,
about you.
it's me, and I'm like, my turn. Mummy, get me presents, Mummy. Whatever's yours is now mine. I'm having it.
Last year there was only 47 presents.
Mummy, I want some of yours.
Some of them are a lot bigger this year, Dudley. I don't care about bigger.
I want
Mummy's
more
going
expensive.
to take you out for another one today. That was my reenactment of Harry Potter.
Oh, I no.
Oh yeah, you don't know Harry Potter.
I don't know Harry Potter. I don't watch Harry Potter. I was like, I thought
Last year there was 36.
Oh, I just thought you were doing a bit. I was going with
No.
it. I was like, oh yeah, that's me.
It's like the first Harry Potter.
Oh, I think I have watched that one, but it was a while ago because I always remember a troll in the toilet.
There's a troll in the dungeon.
Yeah.
Welcome to Harry Potter cast.
They stick the wand up the nose. That's all I remember.
Yeah.
And I remember Hagrid. And Severus
What?
Snape.
Just his name?
Yes.
We're going somewhere.
No.
I remember Hagrid.
I remember Hagrid. He was a good man. He was very loyal to Harry and his friends.
Was.
I know enough. I know pop culture stuff. I'm a bit like, if you've ever watched Achievement Hunter, if you've not, you won't get this, but I'm like a Jeremy. I've seen a lot of stuff.
He's seen no movies.
Yeah, but I'm like not as much like him, but I've not seen, I've seen stuff that I probably shouldn't have seen, and not enough stuff that I should have seen, in the least innuendo way I can put it. Like, I've not seen Star Wars in a chronological
Just watch
order.
it.
I've not seen Star Trek. I've not
Just
seen
watch it.
Harry Potter.
Oh, Star Trek. Okay. Watch Harry Potter.
I don't know. I
Just
feel like
do
I'm past it.
You're not past it. It's good. I just got all the audiobooks.
What about the new ones? Have you seen the new ones? Fantastic Beasts.
I think,
That's
I've
fine.
seen the one that's out. This wasn't that interesting.
Was it really bad? Or was it?
It wasn't bad. I don't know. Just, yeah. just wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, yeah, it just felt like they connected to Harry Potter because of Harry Potter, and it just wasn't. It was like, I think I enjoyed the movie when I watched it, but
fair enough.
It seemed to me a lot like we're going to keep this property going because it makes money.
Yeah.
And then JK's writing it, but she's made some weird changes with the new one. Like, oh, you won't even know.
I will know because I know pop culture stuff. That's what I mean. I know the
You don't know the Harry Potter story though.
I do ish.
What all? No, you don't.
I do in a
You
way.
don't know it to the level that you need to know this.
Yeah, maybe not. But I know that
Throughout all of the books.
I know that she's made a few changes to like characters like backgrounds and like potentially ethnicities.
But you don't.
Point.
Well, no, she hasn't.
Has she not done that? I've heard
See,
that
that's
she.
why you don't know.
No, because I have heard that has been a thing though.
No, it's not even that. I don't know why people are annoyed about that.
But that is a thing that I've heard though.
Yeah, but it's not true.
Right. But
Throughout
I have
all
heard that, so that
you've
is
heard
a thing.
it, but it's
you
wrong.
made it sound like I just made that up. I have heard that is a thing.
Because the thing you've heard, they've made up.
Right. Okay.
I don't know why people are outraged out of that. Throughout all the movies and books, I think all of them, for a lot of them, Voldemort, the main bad guy, had a snake with him.
Yes.
And it was just a snake.
Just a snake.
And part of Voldemort's powers and abilities was that he could talk to snakes, like that animal.
Okay.
Which was freaky.
Not the teacher.
That's Snape.
Is that in no way linked?
I mean, not really. He's Snape,
Isn't he
not
evil?
Snake.
He is evil though.
No.
In a way.
He pretends to be evil.
Yeah.
He's my favourite character. And he's actually good the whole time.
Hello there, Harry.
But anyway,
me.
now.
I'm in Dogma. He was in Dogma, Alan Rickman.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
I am the angel, and I talk to snakes.
He doesn't talk to snakes.
In Dogma he does.
No, he doesn't. Shut up. Let me explain this. Fucking hell. Right, he has a snake throughout all of these movies.
Pet snake.
And part of his ability is he can talk to snakes. And that's not... wizards can do anything, like, whatever they want. But one of the things that's, like, this is, like, a big point in the books, is freaky, is that he can talk to snakes. Not many people can. It's being called parcel tongue, meaning you can talk to snakes. And it's one of the abilities that passes to Harry when he tries to kill Harry and gives him the scar. Part of Voldemort's abilities pass on to him.
Okay.
And also part of his soul, but that's whatever. But basically, so Harry...
I did hear, just a quick one, is this true or not, that Harry isn't even a strong wizard? He's like just...
It was because of his mother's love. That's why it didn't work, yeah.
So I have heard
so
that.
It wasn't a magical baby, no.
Yeah, he's not like any powerful.
He becomes a strong wizard.
Is that what Star Wars tried to pick up on then? It was like, oh, you don't have to be special. You can be anyone.
I don't know. You keep derailing me, dude. I'm trying to get to one point.
Snake talking.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Jesus. So yeah, when
Welcome
Voldemort...
back. We had 2 months off.
Oh my god.
2 months off and we're already like this.
It's not only me that's derailing. Why are you being a prick?
I'm not derailing it. I'm just...
So yeah, he tries to kill Harry.
Yeah.
And part of his soul / abilities passes on to Harry.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them, which freaks everyone out, is Harry can talk to snakes. And this freaks everyone. Like, I'm trying to show out this is a big deal in the books. Like, Harry can talk to snakes.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks he's like an evil monster because of this. Like the guy who saved the Wizarding World, they're all suddenly like, well, what the hell? You can. They think he's bad. They think in number 2, they think he's the one that's causing deaths just because he can talk to snakes.
It's like the Black Plague.
He's like, oh, I've always been able to talk to snakes. I'm a wizard, and they're like, no, that's freaky. So anyway, so he's always had this snake, Nagini, Voldemort, and he's always spoke to it and commanded it. Now in these prequel ones, apparently, according to the trailer, Nagini has been a woman the whole time. Because in Harry Potter, humans can turn into animals. That's established.
The cat teacher.
Yeah, the cat, the rat, Wormtail,
the werewolf, Sirius Black.
Yeah, Sirius Black.
I know
Harry's that. Yeah,
I'm not to a level.
So apparently, she was that the whole time. She was a woman, and she just stayed as a snake. Apparently, we need to see it, I guess. But to me, that takes away the whole snake talking plot. Because if she was a woman the whole time, he didn't need to be able to talk to snakes to speak to her. She could just understand
Unless there was other snakes that he came across, like, hi, snake.
Yeah, but the whole Nagini
Harry.
thing, it just takes away everything from it.
Harry. Yeah.
So it's just the most bizarre. But it's got nothing to do with her race.
Is she going back and changing stuff then?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
see, this is...
Jesus Christ, it took a long time to get to.
We were speaking about this with the Shane Dawson thing as well, weren't we? How Shane Dawson with his new documentary is going back and changing stuff. I think you've got to have a vision and kind of stick to it because that's your art piece.
I mean, yeah, it's a bit different because she can come up with new stuff.
She can come up with it.
I'm glad she's writing these prequels and not someone else. But just don't mess up the stuff that's already.
So is she writing it as a film then? Just
I think
so she's
it says written by us. I think she's writing the script.
Is she not basing it off a book? Is she just doing screenplay adaptation? Sorry. Well,
I think so. I don't know if she's writing it with someone else. Who knows?
There's a thing with Dumbledore as well. I heard everybody was like, not everybody, but some people were outraged about his like sexuality being so like pushed forward and stuff. Like in this new one, the fact that he's in a relationship with.
Is he? I heard the opposite. Well, here's the thing with that. Throughout the books, from what I remember, she never really mentioned his sexuality.
Yeah.
I think. And then afterwards, this is what she does. She'd be on Twitter and she'd be like, "Oh yeah, Dumbledore was gay." The whole time.
that's
and that's fair enough.
It's
that's
fine. But it's like she has
bit weird to add it afterwards.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this was in the books or if she said this afterwards. There's Grindelwald, who is Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp's character.
Who was a villain before Voldemort, and he was in the Harry Potter books. His name, like they just mentioned him as like a past villain.
Grindy.
That Dumbledore stopped, Grindy. I think.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is in the books or if she said it that Dumbledore and Grindelwald were like lovers or something.
Yeah.
There's something going on with them.
Yeah.
But also they were like also he was like essentially a terrorist and he was the hero that stopped.
That's what I heard. I heard that.
But I don't know if that was in the books or she just made it up afterwards. But either way, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. His sexuality doesn't matter to the plot.
Oh, of course not. It doesn't matter. But it's like these adaptations that she's changing to kind of like add and like you said, putting it out there. Is she putting it out there because? Like, does it need to be said? Like you said on like Twitter and stuff. Like, oh yeah, just like like. Could it not have been there from the beginning?
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't matter. That's the thing.
Doesn't matter.
You don't need to say it afterwards.
I think she's probably got the best
to add
intentions.
more interest to the books.
She's probably got the best intentions with like
Hopefully,
what she's trying to think and do and correctly represent people as like equal and stuff. And I think that's.
But it's not really correct adding it on afterwards.
It doesn't come across fully right. Yeah.
But then the outrage I heard was in the new ones. They're not. He's in because he's being played by.
Oh, he's been played by what's his name?
Younger actor.
Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan.
Not Obi-Wan.
But he's in the new one as younger Dumbledore, and apparently they're not like he's not gay. He's not openly gay, or he's not.
Okay.
He doesn't have a boyfriend or whatever you'd want to show that.
Yeah.
So now people are like, oh, why are you ignoring the fact that he's. And I'd be like, if I was making the movie, I'd be like, well, in the original movies, it wasn't a thing. It didn't come up. It didn't matter. Like, this isn't like, I don't know.
Is it Jude Law?
Jude Law, that's it.
Is it Jude Law? Sorry, it was pecking my head.
So, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, I get that. It just sounded really, really convoluted. And I'm kind of glad I didn't fall in love with it and then, like, all this stuff's been tampered with.
Didn't ruin it.
This is kind of where I'm at with Star Wars. Like, if I had a really, like, a passion for it and then all this was going on, I'd feel so, like... Why is this happening? Because I know so many people are like, oh, stop, you're ruining it.
That's a good comparison.
Are they ruining it?
A bit. It does take away from the originals in your mind a bit.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think, though, because I saw I think it was, I can't remember, but a reviewer on YouTube, and they compared, like, what's the best Star Wars? Is it A New Hope? Is it, like, A New Hope? Is that one of the best, or...
That's the original.
Empire Strikes Back.
Well, I mean, best is hard to say.
Like A New Hope, I believe, if that is the first one, then.
Everyone loves Empire.
Is it Empire? Well, one of them, like I said, anyway, when it first came out, I think it was probably one of the second ones, and that they brought out, and everybody was like, "Oh, you've ruined the original in comparison to the original. This is nothing." And then this, like you said, I think it could be Empire, because like now that's regarded as one of the highest, but at the time, a lot of critics, because it is no matter what people say. I personally believe it is easier to criticise than to compliment.
Yeah.
It is. It's just, I think that's human nature in part, to be like pessimistic and then have a somewhat pessimistic outlook. And then something that, rather than, I think it's kind of more British as well. I think British is to be like down on a situation and then the situation is most likely going to be better than your expectation. You're like, oh, all right then.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's natural with as a culture how we stand. Like, and the best way to compare it, I know it sounds stupid, but I think is with weather. Like, we never expect good weather, and even when it's like, oh, good weather report, heat wave, majority of people, like family and friends that I would speak to, they'd be like, yeah, no, it's going to be raining all week. Like, they make a joke about it, but like on some level, that is their expectation. And then when it's not, like, oh, that was a really good weekend, but like, look at it, it's over now, and like, and it's always pessimistic,
always
kind of like down. So I don't know whether that kind of leaks into somewhere of being like, yeah, this is good, and if everybody was like, no, this is good, would it be seen as good as the people out there that are like, oh, that's rubbish because I've been told it's rubbish? Because that's kind of where I'm coming from in a way. Like, I've heard the new Harry Potter's, like Fantastic Beast and the new Star Wars aren't good, but I don't really have knowledge to base them off. I'm just going off what I've heard people say, these outrage things, these things that people aren't happy with. Like,
you gotta try and just ignore them a bit.
Yeah.
Have your own opinions.
Yeah.
But then also listen to some opinions.
Yeah.
Like some movies, like the new Venom movie, from what I've heard, just not make me want to go watch it.
So you said we spoke about this briefly. I said I'd seen the trailer, and you were like, I've not seen the film, but I know everything about it.
I've seen the end credits. I've read the bits of the plot.
I really don't mind about spoilers because I'm as much as I love Marvel, I'm probably not going to watch this
People,
with like.
I know if anyone listens to this, I don't know. We can
you
say
know what?
spoilers.
We tend to go.
I don't know that much, to be honest.
Let's just go. We go for about an hour and a half usually. We're on 50 minutes, so we could potentially.
I've got other stuff to talk about as well, but
can you do it potentially with spoilers, but? We could timestamp where we are now and then be like, right, we'll put up a time code when we're
probably going to talk about spoilers.
Yeah.
Like from now on, from Venom.
If you don't want to hear them, we'll put up a timestamp.
Neither of us have seen it.
And we've not, but you know a lot more than I do.
Read stuff.
I've seen the trailer, I've heard reviews, but not enough.
Well, the big spoiler, just get out of the way,
Fire away.
End credits, is apparently Carnage is at the end in prison, played by Woody Harrelson. And he's wearing an awful wig, apparently. Well, that's for Venom too.
Do you reckon they're going to make it?
I hope not. Having not seen the first one, which I do plan on watching when it comes out on DVD or whatever.
Fair enough.
I'll go pick up a copy from Blockbuster.
I might go and watch it. Not in cinema. I might just get it on.
Go and watch it where?
I don't know. I might just get it from Thingy when it's out somewhere. I'm not sure. I don't think I'm gonna go and pay in the cinema to watch it.
Yeah. My main... It's not even to do with the movie, but I'm just annoyed at Sony. Just pumping out these rubbish Spider-Man movies.
So controlling over stuff. I have no hope for the new Spider-Man.
The new Spider-Man?
The Spider-Man that's coming out.
What, the Marvel one?
The one that's Far From Home.
You got no hope for it?
No.
That's not Sony though, that's Marvel.
It's not. It's Sony.
No, it's Marvel. It's Tom Holland.
Yeah, but it's Sony.
No, but it's MCU.
It's MCU, but it's Sony have full control over it.
No, Kevin Feige's in on it.
I believe
it's the same.
Sony have control over what...
Sony had control on Homecoming.
But that's the thing, you know what? I think it was okay and stuff, and I didn't mind it and stuff, but I am worried that they're getting a little bit comfortable with this. I do believe, honestly, I believe that they do. I know that Feige's involved, but I have heard that with Sony having control over it, they do. They've done it in the past and stuff. I am worried.
I have not heard that. I think that's wrong. But
I genuinely, honestly, I'm not.
It's the same team as Homecoming.
It might be the same team and stuff, but it is under as a Sony production from my.
Yeah, but so is Homecoming.
Yeah, but this is a different film we're talking about. We're not talking about Homecoming, are we?
Yeah, but it's the same cast and crew and.
It's
Sony.
I think Sony, along with Marvel, but it's under as a Sony production. And what worries me is that Sony might be like, no, we did all right with the first one, and they might potentially try and get the claws into it. And when they do that with a film,
I don't think they will do.
Well, this is my opinion.
It's Disney
it's
also.
It's an opinion, isn't it? So, like I said, that's what I think. I am worried for it. I hope it's not.
You're the first person I've heard that's worried about it. Everyone else is.
I'm looking forward to it, but I am worried. That's where it kind of comes in part. Like I said, pessimistic Brit. That's where it comes from.
I just think your worries are unjustified because it's
like
a Marvel.
It's not
property.
It's not in the sense that I know they're not linked in any way, but previous films that they have released, not Homecoming, but previous films that Sony have released haven't done the best. The previous Spider-Man films, like they kind of didn't do that well and stuff, and I'm not judging them exactly off that.
They all did well box office, just so you know.
The last two, I'm talking about the last two, I'm saying like for films themselves, or like
you mean like quality? Yeah, but I'm just it's annoying, but they did well.
If you could talk money, then like.
I thought you were saying
Transformers do well.
Yeah. I thought you were just talking money. I'm saying they did well.
I'm saying, but personally, there is worry. It's not might not be justified, but there is worry that it won't be up to the standard. And I'm not. If it comes out and it's bad, I'm not going to be like it's all Sony's fault. might just be, like you said, it might just not be the best film. I can't remember what was the film that was classed as weak. Was it Iron Man 3? Which one was it? That there was a certain film in the MCU that.
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
not every MCU movie is great.
movie
Like Thor 2 is awful.
Yeah, Thor 2 is another one that's like.
I just think
rock bottom.
Sony are not going to have a clause in this.
I don't think they have full, but I know that I'm scared that they have some say over it because it is a Sony production.
I think it's the opposite.
It does worry me that personally, like I said, it is an opinion, and
Yeah.
it's not, like you said, it's not fully backed up with stats, but there is the sense that with it being them, I'm scared that they'll be like, oh no, yeah, we've done it, and like I said, I know Feige might be there and stuff, but I do worry for it because, like I said, with Sony being at the helm. Is there another big Sony production that's doing
well? They're not
well?
at the helm with this, though.
But I'm saying, like, they will be in part. It's a joint affair. They're not going to be like, right, Feige, yeah, you totally control it, and we'll just put it out no matter what.
After how well Homecoming did, I think they might.
I don't know
I don't
know whether it is. I'm saying honestly on a level, I don't know if it is. It might be, but to my knowledge, I'd be a bit crazy if a production company is like, yeah, do you know what? Like, you have full reign. We'll just put out whatever you think's good. That would be very peculiar if that is the case. I think they had a say in Homecoming, but I think they listened a little bit more because obviously the MCU had done so well. I think they were willing to take on a bit more. But I am worried that potentially they might not try and get their, not claws as such, but they might try and just like be a bit more like involved in it. And I do worry. It's based in Britain, isn't it, from what I've heard as well? And apparently
in Venice.
Pardon?
It's in Venice at the minute. They're filming in Venice.
I think it's set in Britain from the storyline, from what I've heard.
But they've just filmed in Venice.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Like,
it's in Europe.
The majority of the story, from what I've heard, is like set in Britain, like the storyline wise.
Yeah.
And that's the people talking about that being a play on words because it's like, oh, like the fact that Tom Holland's from Britain and they were like far from home, but he's not. And I don't know whether Mysterio's going to be British, but apparently he's going to be the villain, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. It's so weird how people say it, but yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like I said, I'm hoping the best. I like Zendaya. I think Zendaya's cool.
I think.
In the casting.
I just, again, my opinion, but from what I know as well, Sony, they're just letting.
You can keep going on at it, but it's an opinion. And for me, I personally think I'm worried, and I think I have every right to be worried because it's Sony.
It's fair if you're worried.
I'm scared for Sony. I
don't know if it's as much an opinion as how movie companies work, and it's Marvel movies making this. So it's Sony's character. They made a deal with Sony to use their character. It doesn't mean Sony gets to work on it.
But it is a Sony production, though. It is going under as Sony, this.
No, it's just got Sony at the start because it's their character.
I don't know whether that is the case.
Do you not remember the deal they made with Sony?
I know they made the deal, but I don't know whether
the deal means they get to make the movie. It doesn't mean Sony gets to say, do this.
So you're telling me that they're putting their name on it and not having any say? Their character.
With how well Homecoming
is that
did,
real?
Yeah.
That is incredible if that is the case.
That was the deal. The money they got money off them. That was the whole deal. That's why
I know they did a deal and stuff, but I thought that was just the MCU was so desperate.
If Sony was involved, why would Marvel pay them money?
But the MCU was so desperate to get Spider-Man in because he's such a key character in the comics to their storyline that they were willing to like help them and stuff and like show them the narrative. But I wasn't aware that it's fully being done by the MCU as a film to give to Sony and then take a share from it. I think
what you just said is
I wasn't aware that was the case and stuff. I know that they were deeply involved, but to my knowledge, I thought Spider-Man: Homecoming came out okay and it was an alright film and stuff.
It's great.
They kind of stood away from what I liked, stood away from the Origin stuff as well. Like I think people are so done with Origins.
Yeah, that was
so done with Origins. So I kind of liked how it did work well for what it was.
I'm trying to make you feel less worried about it.
No, thank you, man. I think it's not going to help though, because like I said, I have seen so many Sony films that I've been like especially like with Venom again, and like it seems like every single thing that they do for themselves, it's like.
But that's
stop,
what I'm trying to say is they're not actually doing this.
Homecoming
would not have been what it was if Sony did it.
It might not be. If it's not them, the less Sony, probably the better.
I mean, it had Iron Man in it, who Marvel fully own, and it's their best character.
But is that not
way
But then again,
Sony
Spider-Man was in their film, so I didn't know whether that was like something that was done.
That's what the whole deal was they
We'll
wanted...
have to research this. We'll research this and then come back once we know a little bit more. Maybe I'll be less worried. Maybe I'll be a bit more.
You should be, honestly.
Fingers crossed, though. Fingers crossed.
It really has none of the marks of a Sony
Still
movie.
yet to see Ant-Man as well, by the way.
What, the second one?
Yeah.
I already spoiled it for you, didn't I?
Yeah, pretty much. But I don't mind watching a film that I know the ending to. It's just I like watching it for like,
Good action,
film, pacing, shots, you know.
You seen the Aquaman trailer?
Yes.
New one. The new one.
Yeah, the new one, yeah.
I was not going to watch that movie until that trailer. I wasn't.
Really?
I thought Aquaman...
You watched Justice League as well, didn't you? I never watched Justice League.
But, you know, it just became a downhill slope from there for me, for their movies. I was getting sick of them all being rubbish.
So you are going to go and watch it?
I am now, after that trailer, yeah.
Cool.
I like James Wan, so...
Cool.
The director.
Yeah, he's done horror movies and stuff, hasn't he?
Horror, and he's done some Fast Furious. Some
Yeah.
of those shots in that trailer, I'm like...
I didn't know they were doing a spin-off from Fast and Furious as well, which just becomes a film podcast. They're doing, what is it, Jason Statham's character in The Rock?
Yeah.
Doing a spin-off?
Interesting. Again, for me, it's like the Fantastic Beast thing. It's like...
I suppose there's
I
not
want
as
the
much
original.
lore and depth, though. I suppose
No,
it's
yeah.
kind of easier to just pull off stunts and blowing up and stuff like that.
True.
Yeah. I was listening...
There's less lore to ruin.
I've heard this thing as well, though, that's about Will Smith. Will Smith trying to revive his career or something. But
He's on YouTube.
He's
You
like...
could talk about that in your new news.
But he's found new media to like kind of boost off, and like apparently what I've heard is the fact that he's kind of had the top guy took away from him in Hollywood from him by The Rock coming in and taking like that the hold now, and he's like the top guy.
Yeah.
And he's kind of a bit miffed by it from what I've heard. Like, well, this is all speculation from like Hollywood stuff, but
From your sources.
From my sources, my insider sources. This is what I've just like I said. It might not be true, but apparently he's got on a team to kind of help promote him in new media, and that ended up them being like, right, well, should we try and venture into YouTube? Not many people have done that yet, and that's why he started up the vlog and like being all clickbaity and like stuff like that. So it is interesting how he's like trying to revive his career in new media, and it's working. And he got a YouTube Red series. He's got a YouTube Red series now, has he not?
Was that them?
Yeah, it was. I just took a drink.
We're going to talk about them after this.
They are weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's pacing and stuff around us like sharks.
I think they're waiting to use this, aren't they?
Yeah, I think they are.
So
Waiting
unprofessional,
to
they
use
do.
our studio. But yeah, speaking of sharks, Aquaman. So, what gripped you from the trailer then?
It looks fun.
Okay.
It looks funny. There's a bit when he's like, she puts water on that thing and he's like, I could have just pissed on it. That's funny.
Yeah.
It looks just colourful, which I wanted from Justice League, which we didn't get as much. It was all added on afterwards.
It does look nice.
I saw the Blu-ray cover for Justice League and it's like oversaturated as anything. It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Some of those camera angle shots, the running scene.
Yeah.
That's the bit when I was like, okay, I'm going to see this. And he's just like whipping out camera shots from through buildings and zooms out of the whole city and then zooms back in. And he used the same shot a few too many times, but
that didn't grip me. It's cool that, like you said, like that for you that was a big thing.
Yeah,
that didn't grip me that much. That I was
just
like,
for like
it's okay, but
camera standpoint, like
I get it. I'm with you.
Action standpoint, yeah.
I don't know though. I'm hoping the best. Like I said, I always am. Like no matter, like I said, I have more of an affiliation towards Marvel, and as much as I'm not a fan of Harry Potter or Star Wars, I love a film being a good film.
Yeah. Same.
Like if a Star Wars film came out tomorrow or like, next year, let's just say, for example, if it came out and it got absolutely amazing reviews, I would be so pumped. Like that would be something for me that I'd be like, right, excellent, something that's good. I'll watch its whole kind of storyline to just get
Go
to
back
that,
and
to genuinely something like that.
God.
Because I would be willing to kind of do the research into. Like I said, if Harry Potter came out and you were like, oh, it's good, it's really good.
I mean, they are all good.
Well, it's like if it's new and it's fresh, I'd be like, I would go back to.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's kind of similar to what I said about like with David
You've missed
Dobrik
the time.
at the beginning. If David Dobrik, like, he released a video that came out, and then that's what gripped me, and I watched that, and I was like, it's quite gripping.
Yeah.
I subbed to him, then left, went on to something else, and then I was like, when I was a bit bored later, I was like, I'm going to consume some more of that. And then I went back to that, and that's what I consumed from there. So it is a bit, it's similar. I think that's just how my brain works. Something, it has to grip me once,
Yeah.
but then
Looking for something new all the
grip
time.
me again, yeah. I would be willing to sit through rubbish bits of, like you said, Star Wars. I would probably watch the prequels
Yeah.
if I went back to the beginning to watch them all, just to get to the good bit.
Don't. Just
Probably
don't.
shouldn't.
You don't even need to watch the prequels.
And then he'd gone back and remastered the old ones as well.
Oh, several times.
Wow.
That's very infamous. Added all this CGI stuff.
Yeah, made it worse.
There's a bit when R2-D2 is like watching someone from behind, from like a small cave, and it's just a fine shot, like he's just leaning out. And Lucas was like, "No, it's too obvious," and puts a rock in front of him, and you just see a bit of him, and it's just like a CGI added in rock.
Wow.
Yeah.
So weird, really weird.
That's like one of the like things where you're like, why did you do that?
There's no real need to.
And then there's ones where he's like just added all these aliens walking in the background because he thought the shot didn't have enough stuff going on.
Right.
But then you've got real live action people in costumes. And then you've got these cheap CG because it was done in like 2000 or whatever, and it just looks completely different to the. It just looks terrible. Yeah.
Bloody hell. Sounds like he's. I heard a quote as well. He sounds like he's kind of completely strayed from his original idea, because his original, one of the quotes was like, something was touched up, something was moved, something was changed from like I think it was like Godfather or something.
Yeah.
So they did re-edits of that, and I think somebody took a quote from him that they'd done in an interview, and he was like, "My personal opinion was that like they shouldn't have ever touched it and stuff. Like an original stands for what it is and stuff." And I agree with that, and that's kind of similar into like how the shifting stuff like Harry Potter when it was wrought. Certain things might not have been as fully accepting as they are now. Like you said, like gay marriage is something that, like, wrongly has not been legal for so many years, and to be honest, wasn't spoken about and wasn't really mentioned. And when you think about 2018, it's so widely accepted and stuff, and it's so maybe that's in part when she wrote the books, she didn't, if she had it in mind, but then didn't write it and stuff. There's that kind of thing. But then, do you kind of go like, and then that's when people review it and they're like, oh, it's nothing in comparison to the originals, like take Star Wars. That time period is completely different into what we do now. Does that affect it? It's surely, of course, it does. But is there any way of capturing the essence of that and then bringing it forward? Surely there is. I'm trying to think of an example. True. I can't think of one. Like where you get the essence of what was so good about that and bring it forward. They kind of always fail when they try and, like they did it with another Harrison Ford thing. Like they tried Indiana Jones when they did it with him, and then they were trying to get Shia LaBeouf as like
just a bad movie.
The brand new like Crystal Skull. They were trying to get him as the new face of like Indiana Jones. It's like you can't just recycle that same model and be like this guy now.
The main issue is sequels.
Yeah.
Just in general, they don't need to happen. Prequels, sequels.
What would you prefer? A sequel, a prequel, or a spin-off? What in the past for you is?
It's very depends on what it is.
Yeah.
I think sequel.
Let's take Star Wars for this example. Let's just say Star Wars for now. Like I said, I can't comment myself, but for you personally.
Well, with Star Wars, I'd say spin-off because the prequels are pretty bad.
Yeah.
The sequels, I don't know.
Do you reckon the prequels would have potential though? Because
the potential.
Because like, they've just been so.
That's why it's base by base. The prequels are just bad.
Star Wars is a hard one. I'm trying to think of something that's.
You could do good prequels about Anakin, but they didn't. So
yeah.
Overall, in general, I think sequels, because it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just carrying on the story. Prequels is trying to go back and tell stuff before.
Yeah.
Also, for me, with prequel stuff, it's like we know what's going to happen. There's no suspense.
Yeah.
Spin-offs can be cool, like especially with Star Wars. If you know Star Wars Rebels, the cartoon.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to watch
like
that.
Clone Wars and stuff like that.
Well, that's a prequel, I know it's kind of a weird mix of both. But I'm going to go watch Rebels from the start because it's technically a sequel because it's set after 6.
Right. Okay.
But it's technically a spin-off because it's just new characters.
It's
so,
just
it's spin-off.
Yeah.
And it looks real good for a cartoon as well. Like I'm going to watch that.
Cool.
So and also there's Jon Favreau's doing a spin-off set between 6 and 7 called The Mandalorian.
Okay.
And it's about a bounty hunter.
Okay.
Same species or race as Boba Fett, with the helmet and the cool jetpack and stuff. He's like one of those bounty hunters.
Cool.
But it's not one of those. It's like a new character as far as we know.
Good hands with Jon Favreau.
Hopefully, maybe that.
Creator of the MCU.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. It depends on what it is. Yeah. I just think sometimes just leave a story as it is. Some of my favourite stories, they just ended, and it was a good ending.
Yeah. Do you know who's not done it too bad, but I do, once again, worry about the new one? Toy Story. I think Toy Story have bossed it every single time they've made a new one.
Yeah, because they've been careful.
Yeah.
Made good script. I'm sure 4 will be good.
They basically did thingy though, didn't they? With the third one, I saw a representation of like a film analysis on YouTube of the side by side kind of comparison between what is it? Toy Story 3 and is it like I think it is like Shawshank Redemption, and it's
Really?
like there's like the whole thing that like Lotso's like the governor who's like corrupt.
Yeah.
Then they took to like a facility where they're now locked in against their will, and then they have to escape. And it's like this whole like kind of like it's like, and then like he makes friends on the inside with like new people, and like
a prison movie basically.
It's like a prison movie for kids. And
I didn't really make that think about that.
I didn't at the time of watching it. And
I mean, that's what you can do with cartoons and put in deeper. Take the bones of an adult story and make funny of it. And
I think that's the thing with like kids' films and stuff. They've always kind of done that well. Like when there's jokes between like in cars, where like
sorry.
No, carry on. Cool.
I was just gonna say with one. I studied this a little bit myself.
Yeah.
Woody is like the favourite, and then Buzz turns up.
Yeah.
And there's that whole like new toy, but it's also like can be seen in real terms as like new friend, new like if you've got a younger sibling that turns up, you know, like all that jealousy, which are like adult themes, but it's done through Toy Story as new toy.
Yeah, but
he's a space ranger.
Yeah.
Like old generation of cowboy to the new. Yeah, so
it's really, really good.
I can't think about 2, but I'm sure there's similar with that. I think it's just the same, isn't it, with the old toys, with the prospector.
Yes, the
being
prospector
chucked away and the new toys. Yeah.
Did you ever watch that? I remember watching that as a kid and being like, this guy's a villain. But by the time that the film had got to him being a villain, I was kind of off the fact that he was the villain. Do you know what I mean? Like I started watching it. I was like, this guy's going to be the villain when I was a kid, and then I'd forgot that I'd thought he was going to be the villain by the time, and then it was like, oh, he is the villain, I knew it.
It's a pretty good reveal.
Because didn't he bring Zurg, is it Zurg, back into it? Like, who's the rip-off Darth Vader?
Zurg turned up.
Yeah.
Can't remember how, though.
Like, they went to the toy...
Oh, he's from the shop.
Yeah, and then he was like, Buzz! And then he dies in the elevator.
And there's the other Buzz.
Yeah, Spanish Buzz is in the new one, isn't it?
It's like the Buzz who thinks he's actually a space ranger.
I'm Buzz. And he's like...
He's got the belt. The intro to that movie is so cool. When he's flying through space.
It is so good. Yeah. It's the same as the third one as well, when they're in the Wild West.
Yeah,
it's like
the clever
train set and stuff,
Yeah.
It is cool.
I'm hoping number 4 will do something.
Oh, it's got to.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've not even heard much on the storyline for it.
I don't want to know.
I don't. I forget that's Tim Allen. Is that like the only good thing that Tim Allen's ever done, Buzz?
Wow. Poor Tim Allen. I can't think what else he's done.
I'm not.
He was Santa, wasn't he?
Tim Allen. Who's that?
Santa.
Yeah, but were they good? That's what I mean.
I love those movies.
Do you love them?
Yeah.
It's childhood in it though. Like I said, you link to it.
Back to Christmas.
I don't think they're good films, from what I've heard, but
I enjoy them as a kid, especially.
I watched them as a kid. Don't get me wrong, I watched them, but I don't think they're good films from people who've like sat back and watched them.
That's the thing with a lot of films now. You're like, they were good at the time, but now they're not.
Yeah. But then you've also got adults reviewing kids' films,
yeah.
And like you see that a lot, like where they review kids' content and they rip it, and it's kind of like
it's not for you.
Yeah, it's not for you, but I still like watching it. I don't know. I think I've watched too many of them to be like anything's good anymore.
Yeah, well, I think because me and you like to break down stuff, and we both work in that kind of similar genre of like animation and media and movies, so we both break down stuff we can't even stop it.
Do you know what would be a good idea for a podcast?
What? Better than this?
Ruining good things.
Ruining good things.
Like, go through stuff that people deem as like...
It's pretty negative for a podcast.
Yeah, but just imagine it like...
Just shitting on stuff.
We basically watch something like Shawshank Redemption, like Fight Club, these like Godfather, and you find a way of saying that they're bad.
Because people would just give a shit.
Or maybe do the complete opposite. Like, for half the episode, we're ruining something that's really bad, but then something that's good, we bring up all the good points about something that's really bad.
I mean, let's just try it next episode. Try and get them to
an equal point. We could try and do that.
Yeah.
Try and work together to like, this is why bloody...
Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to think of a really bad film now.
Save it.
The Scorpion King is a good film. Why, The Scorpion King is better than Godfather. The Rock.
It's like a cinematic universe.
I watched, sorry, just a quick one. Real odd. You're going to spin off. Scary Movie 4 was on the other day. Kevin Hart's in it. That was weird.
Can't remember.
Yeah. So if you're going to go and watch Scary Movie 4, Kevin Hart's in it. And I saw it and I was like, totally didn't even know he was in it. And I've seen that film like 3 times.
Huh. Why is it weird?
Because I've seen it 3 times and I didn't even realise it was Kevin Hart. But then going back from now, Kevin Hart where he is, I'd seen his stand-up and stuff and I just didn't know why I was
was it like one of his first movies or something?
I think it was massively before he got big. Like, you know, he's like just a small cameo role as like one of the side characters, but he's funny in it. It's not like he's out of character, like he's playing like a serious role. Like, is it what's his name in Foxcatcher?
I haven't seen that.
Foxcatcher. It's what's his name? I want to call him Michael, but it's not Michael.
I haven't seen it.
Evan Almighty.
Evan Almighty, what? Oh,
you know what I mean? He's in it. He's in Foxcatcher.
I was going to say Michael Scott as well.
Yeah, no, what? He's not Michael Scott. We'll leave that one with you guys to figure out his name.
I'm getting hungry, dude.
I'm getting hungry. Should we shoot? Let's go and grab a bite to eat.
What
and that's a lovely way to end the podcast.
Get a sandwich?
I'm going to eat this mic. I'm going to climb back in your womb. And then...
Get back in.
See you, everyone.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
Next week we'll go back to our regular schedule of me.
And me. I'll see you next week.
What a mess of a podcast.
It smells. Bye.
Bye.